Today we're going to be making a peanut butter blossom cookie. So I'm going in with my disappearing ink pen and I'm outlining 2 circles on a tan piece of felt. You'll need 2 circles for the top and base of the cookie. Once you have it outlined, go ahead and cut out your 2 circles. Once you have your 2 circles cut out, you will then go and take your smaller circle and place it right in the middle of one of the cookies. We're not going to cut out the circle, we're just outlining it so we know what to work off of. So from there, with a peanut butter blossom cookie, all I can remember when it comes to the detail of this cookie is the cracking that happens when you place the chocolate in the center of the cookie. So I really wanted to concentrate on making those cracks going around the whole center. So I'm just drawing freehand little twigs or little sticks. You can do a lot of cracking, you can do less cracking, it's definitely up to you. But once you have it outlined, we'll go in and start to stitch. So I'm going to be doing a back stitch on these little cracks. So you are going to start at the base of your crack where the circle is. You're going to come up from the back side, then you're going to push your needle back towards the back side of the cookie. That's going to be your first stitch. Then I go a stitch length away from that last stitch, come up from the back side again, and then when I go back down, I'm going to go back down into that previous stitch that I just made. So again, when you come up from the back side, you're going to be a stitch length away from your last stitch that you just made. And then you're going to drop the needle back down into that previous stitch. So I'm going to do that just following my outline. So that's what it should look like. Then once I'm done with my first crack, I just move over to my next one and start all over again at the base of the crack and work my way up to the top of it and then go to the next crack. But once you're done with your cracks, it should look something similar to this. And then you're flipping it over, taking a little bit of felt with your needle, running it through that hoop not once but twice, and then cutting off the extra to secure all those stitches. Now we're going to attach the 2 pieces together. So I'm going to pin it in place, and then from there I'm going to take my needle and go between the 2 pieces and come up along the outline of that circle. I'm going to be stitching along that outlined circle. But you're then going to take your needle and push it back towards the back through both pieces. And then when you come up, we're going to do the back stitch again. You're coming up a stitch length away from your previous stitch. And then when you push your needle back towards the back side, you're pushing it back at the end of your previous stitch. So you're going to continue that back stitch along that whole outline of the circle. The reason why I do this is because I want the center to be flat and that the sides to be stuffed with polyfill. So it gives that look of the chocolate being placed into the cookie and then the cracks happening. So once you get back to your first initial stitch, you made it all the way around the circle, you're going to flip it over and sometimes your circle won't be connected on the back side, which is fine. So you're going to push your needle back towards the back side and then you're going to connect the circle together and push your needle back to the front. And then when you push your needle back again, we want to secure everything that we just did. So we want to push it back into the felt but come up between the 2 pieces and then secure your stitches by running your needle through that hoop not once but twice and then cutting off the extra. And then from there we're going to move on to doing our blanket stitch. Now with the blanket stitch, you're going to take your needle between the 2 pieces and you're going to push it towards the back side of the cookie, hide your knot at the end of your thread, then come up and over that edge, push your needle through the top piece and come up between the 2 pieces and then pull tight. You'll move your needle over just a little bit, push it through both pieces of felt this time, run your needle through that hoop and then pull tight. You will continue this blanket stitch along the whole edge. I usually do 10 to 15 stitches before I stop, and then I will want to do some stuff with polyfill. So I use this tool. It's linked in my Amazon account. It is the best thing when it comes to stuffing small felt items. It has a little claw at the end of the tool which grabs really nicely onto the polyfill, and then I can easily just use that instead of trying to get my fingers in there. So I really highly recommend it. Again, it's linked in my Amazon storefront. But once you're done with that section of polyfill, just keep continuing to do your blanket stitch, do 10 to 15 stitches, stop, fill it with polyfill, and then continue your blanket stitch. Now, once you get back to your initial stitch, I usually go 3 or 4 stitches past my initial stitch, and then I secure all my stitches by running my needle through my hoop, not once but twice, and then I will run my needle through the back side of the cookie and then cut off the extra. Now it is time to make the chocolate for this cookie. So this is what it will look like once you're done. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my chalk pencil or pen and outlining 2 circles onto a chocolate dark brown felt. From there, go ahead and cut them out. And then once you have them cut out, we're going to take those circles, we're going to fold them in half like a taco, and then cut them in half. And then we're going to do it for the second circle as well. And we're only going to use 3 of the pieces. But once you have that done, we are going to take one of the pieces, we're going to fold it in half, so it's kind of like a triangle. And then from there, we're going to blanket stitch along that whole edge, connecting it. So you're going to take your needle, go between the 2 pieces, and hide your knot that's at the end of your thread. Then you're going to come up and over that edge, take your needle and push it through the top piece, come up between the 2 pieces and pull tight. If you guys have ever seen me make a strawberry, we're pretty much making a strawberry just in chocolate form and not adding leaves. So again, once that first initial stitch is done, move over just a little bit, push it through both pieces of felt this time, run it through that hoop and then pull tight. Continue that blanket stitch along the whole edge until you get to that top corner. Once you get to the top corner, make sure that you secure all your stitches by running your needle through that hoop, not once but twice, and then pulling tight. Now we're going to do a running stitch along the edge. So we're just taking our needle and we're weaving in and out of the felt. I usually do, 4 or 5 weaves before I start to pull and cinch. This allows me to cinch it closed, but we don't want to cinch it all the way closed until we add our polyfill. Once we get back to our first initial stitch, I'll start to cinch it closed, but I'm going to add polyfill to it. And then from there, once it's nice and stuffed, it won't take that much polyfill. These are very small little chocolates. But once it's nice and stuffed, what I'll do is I'll take my needle and I'm going to run it through all those little bumps that I've created by cinching. And then as I'm running it through the bumps, I'm just pulling tightly on that thread. Don't pull too tight because you will rip the thread, but just go all the way around the top again and then just keep cinching. You don't have to worry too much about cinching it completely closed because this will be glued down, but just close it as much as you can. And then once you get done cinching, you will want to secure all the stitches that you just did. So run your needle through that felt and then through your hoop, not once but twice, and then pull tight. Then run your needle through your chocolate and then cut off the extra. You're going to do the same exact thing to the 2 other pieces so that you have 3 small chocolates. So once you're done with the 3 chocolates, this is what they'll look like. And then from there, I will just place them into the middle of the cookie. Just make sure that it's in the right spot before I start gluing them in. And then I will take one out at a time, put a little bit of glue on the base of it, and then set it into the cookie and do the next one. So you do have the ability to do either 3 small chocolates or 1 big chocolate. The big chocolate is identical in the process of making it. It's just a bigger circle that you cut in half. But I really wanted to do these cookies because my mom makes these cookies every holiday, and they are my favorite cookie to eat. They are just so delicious, and I just wanted to make sure that those chocolates look like they were melting into the cookie, and I think I got it done. So again, you can find this template on my Etsy shop. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed it.